Hey, it's Jeremy from OpticHouse.com. First off, I was at Long Beach Comic Con this past weekend, and I want to say thank you to everyone I met at Long Beach Comic Con 2014. All the convention organizers, the attendees, the fellow creators, they made it a great show, so it was fun to meet a bunch of new people and connect with everybody. And I also want to let you know that this coming weekend, October 2nd through October 4th, 2014, I'm going to be at Austin Comic Con, Wizard World, Austin. And I will be in Artist Alley B26. So if there's any Austin folk out there, if you hear this, come on out, come say hi. I'll have some comics, graphic novels, art prints, etc. Now, on to art business. I was listening to a podcast today, Marketplace Money. It's a podcast about how the larger financial world affects people in their everyday lives. Because, hey, who doesn't need a little money help here and there? And there was something in the episode that really struck me, and I wanted to talk about it. The particular episode I was listening to, I will put a link to in the show notes. And they were discussing college education and people trying to pay for college, just how expensive it is, dealing with student loans, not being able to afford student aid. And it got me thinking about what kind of advice I would give to a young artist who was getting ready to start college right now. And I don't think I've said it in my drawing videos before, but one of the best experiences I've had in college were internships. I had a couple of internships, one paid, one unpaid, and they were both working in a graphic design environment. One of them, I was also an intern at Nickelodeon Animation, and just the experience of being able to work in a creative environment and see not just what they teach you in class, but how that knowledge gets applied and all the things that you need to do that are just completely different from what you're taught. That is just an invaluable experience. And I've often told people when I meet them at comic conventions, young artists and art students, my biggest advice is take as many internships as possible. I only took 2 internships my entire time when I was in college. But if I had it to do over again, I would probably take an internship every single year. Because that way, when you're ready to graduate, you don't just have one place that you can get a hold of to see if they have any jobs available. You have 4, maybe 5, if you do them each semester, 5 or more places that you can actually call, and not only do they seen your portfolio, but they know what it's like to actually work with you. They know that you know their system and their working environment, how they operate. They know your skills, your strengths, your weaknesses, and they know whether they like working with you. And that alone will put you at the top of at the head of the line versus somebody who, if 2 people have equal portfolios, but they know what it's like to work with the other person already, they're going to go with you because they know how you work. Anyway, what specifically about the Marketplace Money episode, stood out at me is they were talking about people trying to pick their colleges or not being able to go to the colleges that they want to afford. And if I were to tell somebody how to figure out, where they want to go to school, because there's lots of controversy about whether an art degree is even valuable or not. I know plenty of people who never went to art school, or they may have gone to college but not majored in art, and then, but if they have a good portfolio, that's really what usually gets people a job. I think that art education is definitely valuable in some cases, but it is by no means mandatory to make a living as an artist. But what I would probably do, if I were starting right now, if I were somebody in a junior or senior in high school and I was trying to figure out where I wanted to go for college, I would think about what I want to do. And I would pick my college by what internships were available to me. So let's say I wanted to go into video gaming. There's Blizzard Entertainment in Irvine, California. There's EA Sports, which I believe is in the not necessarily in the Bay Area, but they're in Northern California, in Redwood City. Whatever video game companies I wanted to work at, I would look at those companies, I would contact them and find if they have internship programs, and then I would try to pick a university close to the place where I want to work. And I would treat college not even about the college itself. I would treat it as, where can I go to school where I can take an internship at the place I want to work? I, having gone to college in Southern California, I had heard stories about people going to Art Center or Cal Arts and getting hired to Disney or an animation studio before they even finished their degree. They may go to school for a year or two, and then their portfolio gets seen by some producers or art directors, and they get hired away. And I think that's completely fine, because let's say that you do get a gig, you can always come back and finish your degree later. You can find a place where you can do your degree on nights and weekends, and you can get a degree in art or business through some sort of other online program. Your main goal is to get a paying job in the arts, or at least if that is your goal. Some people don't necessarily, they maybe just want to do art because they're passionate about it, but for a lot of people going into animation or illustration, what have you, like let's say you want to be a book illustrator. Maybe you see if there's internships at Tor, the fantasy publisher, or another place that a magazine that uses illustration regularly, or working for someplace like White Wolf or TSR, someplace that does role playing games. Find the job that you want first. Find out if they have internships, and then pick a college that's close to that will make it easy for you to do that. You don't even necessarily have to do it at a major university. You could just, try to get an AA and find a junior college that's in the same city as the place you want to go to. So decide the job you want and go to the job. That's what I would probably tell somebody if somebody came up and asked me today, all right, I'm in high school, I'm getting ready to go into college, I want to find a job in the arts. How do I do it? That's what I would say. Pick the company, the field, the industry you want, find places you can apply to, and then try to find a school close to that will take the credits you would get from having an internship there. Anyway, that's it for now. Check out my website, optichouse.com. Go be creative.